Time is now 7 o'clock. The Cicero Town Council staff meeting is now in session. Ms. Gary, if you could please take roll.
Certainly. Joseph Cobbs.
Present.
Jacob Everett. Dennis Johnson.
Present.
Eric Hayden. Emily Pearson.
Present.
We have a quorum with 3 members present. Does anybody, I know this is not standard procedure, but does anybody have anything they want to add to this agenda?
Yes.
Traffic light?
Traffic light and new hire update.
Okay. Terry?
Discussion about the well, if you guys got any questions for that discussion, if you have any questions.
Okay. That's under water, wastewater.
Yes.
Rhonda, do you have anything?
I do not.
Dan?
Oh, I'm sorry, I do.
You had your opportunity. Now
I
it's
did.
Tuesday.
I did indeed. Who was it? Sponsorship for the Lights Over Morris Lake for the church. She sent me her application. I will have it on the agenda.
For Tuesday?
Certainly.
Is it, okay, so we don't need to add it tonight?
Nah.
Okay. Parks, Jimmy's not even here. And Frank's not here, so. Okie dokie, we'll start with town council. I don't have anything.
I have nothing.
Emily?
I have nothing.
All right, done with that section.
I will say that I'm working almost complete a spreadsheet that compares utilities with surrounding communities. The only one I don't have in there yet is Westfield, and I'll have that in a day or two. So, and I've been sharing it with Rhonda. So, if anybody has any questions about that, you'll have something you can refer to that's current.
State of the city in Westfield today. Anybody see what came out of that? Looks like I think it's already been out there, but it looks like they're proposing basically a city center of some sort. So they're continuing growing. All right, you're good there. Frank's not here, so do you have anything under plan?
No, sir.
Fire. New hire update.
Can we defer to go last?
Is it? It's him. It's him.
You knew it.
If you need to.
Thank you, sir.
Jeff.
The new hire update for us, and that's because I seen Lance had put it on. So we lost 2 officers this year. That one resigned, or both resigned. So we hired one in September to replace our 9th officer, and right now we got a guy who's going to start on December the 8th who will replace Jensen Piana as our 10th officer. So we should be back up to speed.
Nice. Does he have to go through the academy?
No, no, he's lateral. He's already passed his perf, and everything's good to go. So we just started a pay cycle December the 8th, I do believe.
We're not indebted to any other municipalities there?
Not yet. We got to avoid that from now on. Yes.
Yeah.
As you know, I think we got out of the other one.
Yeah, it sounds
Okay.
like it.
Yeah.
But that's not a situation that we're in this one.
No, it's a guy from Arcadia, and he's been up there. He just completed 4 years up
Okay.
there, and
Okay.
he's already been to the Tier 1 school, so we're good to go. And he hangs out down here all the time with them. So
I think I know who you're talking about.
a guy by the name of Louis Morse.
Yep.
So he should know the roads and all that good stuff. Basically, just have to make sure he does know the roads. He knows everything else about policing, so he should be an easy one.
I like it.
And that's our hiring situation.
Okay.
The traffic light, I got a call from the transportation department earlier this week. The assistant, I think he is, that asked if we could look into the east and west traffic as far as the green light. He didn't think it was very long. So I sat up there and a couple times during the day, a couple different days, and it seems to be pretty consistent. That's a 20-second green light for east and west traffic. And then they get a red light for 32 seconds.
There's no way to set that so it varies by the time of day, right?
I have no idea.
'Cause if we could set it one way in the morning and one way in the afternoon, it would probably be ideal.
Yeah, for like maybe an hour during school traffic, both in the evening and in the mornings would probably work out very well.
Go ahead.
So one of the issues, those traffic loops are not working today. So this is part of the West Jackson Street project. So we felt we were going to have to do one of them, and then that was going to do the other one. And so they are going to replace both of those. And Keith reached out to them yesterday and asked them when they were going to get that done and try to find out so we could get those activated.
Okay.
So that should
Okay.
all of that figure
Weren't those replaced during the upgrade?
That's what he's talking about. They never got reactivated when we did the paving.
I thought they were redone.
East Jackson was new in 2019, and they went out, and NDOT was already going to replace those because it went out. And so they kind of asked, hey, we don't mind if we put the new ones in that you guys tore out for West Jackson. So we said, okay, sounds good. So that's the reason why they've been off ever since we built West Jackson.
I just thought I had heard that they were the new switches were part of the project, so they weren't.
They were part of the project.
They just haven't been done yet.
Okay.
And like Ben said, Keith has been reaching out to NDOT to try to get a time frame when they're going to come and get the loops in.
Great. Great.
So what I did was forward the information to the president and Eric Hayden, because I knew Eric had been talking to the bus barn before about the same issue. And then Eric just asked me to kind of fill you guys in on what I found out. Eric did talk to Dave Hildebrand at the bus barn, and they kind of explained to him that we're kind of waiting on the loops, the pressure sensors to get redone, and then it should get worked out. And he was good with that for now anyway.
Okay.
But that was it, just kind of get you up to speed on that.
Awesome. Thank you so
Any
much.
questions?
I got one.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have something in our paperwork on new hires that if we send them to the academy and they leave within a certain time period, they have to reimburse us?
New state law just came into effect July 1 of this year that says not the officer, but whoever. If they get hired by another agency, that agency has to reimburse us. And it's up to 3 years, and it's like if it's under 1 year, they have to be reimbursed 100%. Year 2 is 66, year 3 is 33%. And it's for everything. Salary, benefits, training costs, clothing, and everything, things like that. That's kind of where we got in a situation with our last hire. But they hired him before that law went into effect, and they didn't get the proper paperwork signed to document that he knew that. But if they were to leave and totally get out of police work, I mean, we used to have them sign a contract that says if you leave, and I think it was basically for any reason, you owed us while you were in the police academy. For us back in, I think the last one we did was around $17,000, $18,000 if they would have left. But I don't think we've ever had that situation, not yet.
Well, thank you for keeping them all happy.
Well, I don't know about that. But anything else?
No, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Terry.
I passed out the quote for the new well. This is a new production well. You can see it's a 12-inch diameter, so it is a production well. There is no pump or anything in it, but it's you kind of see what's covered in it. You have any questions? That's drilling it. That's drilling the well, as you can see, and the gravel pack sealing it and pumping it for up to 48 hours to clean out the gravel and also to see how exactly it's pumping, GPM, how it's going to affect the other wells, which up until now we've just been surmising from the testing we could do that this is the last test that we would be doing. So we are still waiting on IDEM's permit. Our public comment time is up tomorrow, I believe, the 14th. So we're hoping they'll issue that real quickly within the week. Peerless Midwest is hoping that they would like to get in here, if we can get that permit, they'd like to get in here the first week of December and start getting things done before the monsoon set in and keeps us out of the field until whenever.
Right. That $130,911, is that pretty standard cost for something like that?
It is. In our discussions back in May of 2023, we talked to Peerless about what the production extraction well would cost. And this quote has only went up less than $5,000 in 2 years. And pretty well its materials.
Okay. So we just need approval for me to sign this Tuesday night, right, Rhonda?
Yes,
Okay, so we'll get it on the agenda.
I'll add it to the agenda.
Good to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for getting the
Oh, you're welcome.
intersections done. I appreciate that. All right, you had nothing, Rhonda. Dan, you had nothing. Jimmy's not here. Lance, you're up.
Okay. Leave anyway.
Yeah, and whoever wants to take off at this point is welcome to.
Thank you.
No, except Rhonda. If you're not at this table, you're welcome to take off, with the exception of Chris.
I think that's number 8 on the HDMI.
Oh, you need to show us something. Well, Lance, I would agree with you, except it stops at 7.
Okay.
So is it number 7?
That's good.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Go.
Is this the long portion of the conversation?
Yeah, this is the big portion of it.
All right, let's go with the new hire update.
I got it.
We'll start with the new hire
New
update.
hires, we've got 3 offers out that have been accepted. The first gentleman will start November 24th. The second gentleman will start December 2nd. And the third one will start December 22nd.
So we're getting all 3 this
Mhm.
quarter. Beautiful.
So very good qualified candidates. I think they're going to fit in very well.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for the work on that. It's
Thank
greatly
you.
appreciated. So, all right. All right, before we go on to the ambulance, let's have the discussion we talked about the other day. So basically, we have a situation where, and correct me if I'm misunderstanding any of this, Jackson Township is basically in the same situation from an ISO standpoint that we are. They have started working with a regional director for ISO under the idea that there may be a territory agreement in place, and it's been suggested that we reach out to him to do our own due diligence. That would require a council consensus. I'll be honest, I wasn't crazy about how it was proposed to be done initially. My personal feelings on this are that we direct it through our caseworker, and feel free to disagree, but I would like to start the conversation with her, and if that conversation goes well, then we can bring this gentleman in fully transparent on her end. So I think we need to do this, on the up and up as much as possible, as transparent as possible. But I do think we owe it to ourselves to do the due diligence. Not meaning that we are going to go that direction, but it would, I think it's smart to at least have the information and have the conversation. That being said, we don't have to make the decision tonight, but thoughts from you two. Are you aware of this situation?
I'm a little vague on all of it, but I know Arcadia has been pushing that.
You just got the gist of it.
Yeah,
Basically, they're in their same situation, and they're working with this regional director for ISO. He said he could potentially help us. I think their goal is to get his blessing that the 2 stations could work together, and basically between the 2 trucks and 2 on each truck, have it considered 4 on a truck. I'm not confident, but it's worth having the conversation, in my opinion.
I'm not opposed to having the conversation.
I'm not opposed to having the conversation as long as we're honest and we don't say that we're forming a fire territory.
Yeah, that's-
Because we're not even close.
Not even, yeah, this is discovery period to get the information so we can evaluate. So,
Yeah,
So you guys are
as
both-
long as we're honest and
okay, so we've got consensus here. I know Eric is on board, and I will have a discussion with Jacob over the weekend, and then we can get some more direction early next week if that works for you. Everybody good with that? Christian, you good with that? Yeah, okay. I mean, do you think it's worth having the conversation or doing the due diligence? I figured to at least see the information would be
Yeah,
helpful.
That's the only thing I would make everybody aware of is that just from a class that Emily and Christian and I just went to, it is a year and a half, 2-year process.
Right.
To consider this.
So it really doesn't change our situation now, so we need to continue to work our plan anyway, so there's no sense of urgency, right? Okay,
Right, and there was nothing in that class that would lead me to believe that's the best solution to our problems.
and I would agree with that. you
And,
know.
and would Chris and Lance both agree that we're working the plan,
Mhm.
especially with 3 new hires?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. All right, well, we've got our course of action then, and we'll finalize it next week and figure out some course of direction there. Awesome. All right, fire away. No time.
Try number 4.
Try number 4.
The label's off this one, I'll have to get up there and get that fixed.
I think it, mine is number
Okay, I'm just gonna start pushing
3,
buttons at
so you
this
gotta
point.
be 4.
Yeah, it's gotta be 4.
I got
I
7
was
and
just on
6.
4. Now I'm on 5.
I got 6 and 7 over here.
You got 6 and 7.
How about 2? Try 2.
Man, this looks good on camera.
It's gotta be 2 or 4.
Yeah, it's gotta be 4. Yeah, because it's 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I'm on 4.
Okay, give it a minute, it takes,
Yeah.
there it goes. There we go.
Uh-oh.
Coincidence that Eric had a procedure today and Purdue is playing Alabama.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Value mud butt.
There we are.
There it is. Okay. So I handed out the printout of this PowerPoint that we're going to go through. And basically, we're talking about the ambulance rates that have not been changed since 2023. And as we go through this, if you have questions, let me know. So we're going to look at some definitions. We're going to talk about House Bill 1385 that was enacted January 1st of this year that deals with commercial insurance payments. And that's where the focus of all this is based on this House Bill 1385. We're going to do some current rate reviews, look at some operational costs, and then the new rate structure that's being proposed. So just to be on the same page, BLS and ALS. You know, BLS is basic life support. It's an EMT in the back of the truck doing patient care. ALS is advanced life support with a paramedic in the back. So, you know, as an EMT, they get about 260 hours of training to get their certifications, and medics get about 2,700 hours of training. So it's basically a 2-year associate's degree now to become a medic. So billing levels, you look at BLS emergent, which is basically a 911 call that the EMT takes in. BLS non-emergent is usually a transfer between facilities, or it's a very basic call that goes in non-emergently. It can still be a 911 call, but most of the time it's an inter-facility transfer that an EMT would take. ALS level 1 is your basic, say, a chest pain call, where you're going to start an IV, put on the cardiac monitor, oxygen, give some meds, things like that. That's an ALS level 1. ALS level 2 is the full tilt bozo. That's everything. You know, think of a cardiac arrest situation, a multi-systems trauma, something like that, where the medic is going to do several things to do patient care. Treat no transport is if we go on a diabetic and we start an IV on them, we wake them up, they're doing fine, and we leave and we don't transport. We have a fee in place for that as well.
What are the majority of our calls?
The majority right now are falls.
So that's the treat no transport situation generally?
Well, usually a fall there, it's not considered an ALS, or excuse me, an EMS run. We just go out and kind of help them up.
Gotcha.
Now, if it's a bad fall, yes, we'll start taking care of them and doing the thing, but usually it's a lift assist type thing. Mileage, that's loaded miles. So if we put you in the back of the ambulance, however far we go from where we pick you up to the hospital, that's the loaded miles charge. Okay? And we have a resident fee if you live within Hamilton County, and we also have a non-resident fee if you live outside of Hamilton County at this point. Okay? So this is House Bill 1385. I'm not going to read it to you. You can peruse that at your leisure. Basically, it says if you're a commercial insurance payer, you have to pay 4 times what Medicare would pay, or the lesser charge. As an example, the charge we have right now doesn't meet that 4 times criteria, so they would pay the lesser amount of that. And that's what I'm really focusing on these rate changes, is this House bill to meet the standards. So in this chart is our current ambulance rates. These are the 2023 rates that were set. So you can see under the column of House Bill 1385 that the charges that they recommend doing, and our charges are right there to the right, and then the difference is in the last column. So we're substantially lower than everybody else according to MedBill, who does our ambulance billing. We're one of the lowest in the region as far as rates go. So, and if I'm going too fast, let me know. Okay.
That mileage charge, is that cumulative or is that a per mile charge?
That's a per mile charge. Yeah, per mile. Payer mix, we talked about this a couple meetings ago. One of the questions was, what's our payer mix? So in 2024, Medicare was 45.8, Medicaid 14.3, commercial, which is Anthem, United, the big health insurance companies, about 26.6, and then self-pays were 13.4. So that's the breakdown of our payer mix. Transport levels in 2024, we had 2,613 miles that were actually charged. We did 144 ALS level 1 calls. We did 1 BLS non-emergent, 99 BLS emergent calls, and then 7 ALS level 2 calls. So here's a comparison chart of our current rates on the left-hand side as the numbers on the previous screen. I calculated those based on the percentages. And then the column on the right is if we had the House Bill 1385 rates. And you can see over at the right bottom that we're looking at about an $82,000 difference in income. Operational costs from 2024. We budgeted $129,000, and we spent about 107, give or take a little bit. And you can see the income was 162,000, expenses were 106. And then year to date this year, our income's been 130,000. We've had almost 124,000 in expenses. So we haven't added to the fund like we normally would, but we've had some additional expenses. If you'll remember back when we got the ladder, we used some money out of the non-reverting fund to purchase a spreader to put on that truck. So that was $15,000.
Have you guys actually gotten to use the ladder in a fire yet?
Not on a fire we have.
No, fire.
Oh, precious.
Yeah, so it's at least had a benefit.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah. So here's the proposal for the new rates. And again, these are based on the House Bill 1385 rates the state has pushed out.
So these are just an across the board rate? I mean, it's not, there is no non-resident?
Yeah, when you start looking at resident versus non-resident, where we're at today, it made sense. But with these numbers in place, there's very little difference between the two. So we'd be better off just to go straight residential billing.
Sure, okay.
I talked to Suzanne, and I think we did less than 10 runs last year that were not resident. We can also do hazmat billing. We've been doing that for a while, but the state changed their levels on that as well. So I'd like to, if this goes through, I'd like to update those in the ordinance as well. And there's the new rates for the state. They've just about doubled everything. But they put a caveat on this. In order to bill hazmat now, It has to be greater than 55 gallons of petroleum spilled, 5,000 pounds of antifreeze, or it has to go into a waterway.
What was it before?
Pretty much anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So. So just a quick review, rates haven't gone up since 2023. Medville shows us at the bottom of the region, or near the bottom of the region. Medicare, Medicaid rates are set, so no matter what we charge, they're only gonna pay so much. And then we cannot bill the patient for the remainder. That's part of the deal with Medicare, Medicaid. The fee structure changes would generate another close, $82,000, somewhere in that range, depends on what the run load is. And then take out the non-resident fees and just change the hazmat rates to meet the state standard.
Looks good to me. You have any questions?
No,
Comments?
makes sense.
Dennis, questions, comments?
Take out the non-resident because the higher fees that
Mhm.
are more normal as to the,
Yeah, they cover resident and non-resident, yeah.
I think it's something we need to do, personally.
I agree,
Dennis?
most definitely.
I agree.
All right, Rhonda, can you put it on the agenda for approval
Will do.
on Tuesday? And then also is the second part of that, the ordinance update, correct?
Yeah, yeah, when Aaron did the inspection fees, he combined everything into one ordinance.
Okay.
So there's just one to change now, which is really nice.
So we'll need to let Aaron know.
I will.
Thank you. All right, you have anything else?
That's it.
Well, that was painless. So, anybody out in the audience have anything? Harrison? No? Just here for good looks again? No.
I do have last year's
Looks nice.
financials I'll give out to you guys too, so you can go
Perfect.
through them and take a look.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your work on this, Chief.
You're welcome.
We need the money, and it's great you brought this to our attention.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, all right, well, if no one has anything else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank y'all.
So long, suckers.